Anyhow, my microphone is not being picked up because this freaking thing is dying on me. Good thing not much was lost. Summary happened. They had the hazing events, and now we're starting with the golem fights and all those other events. Woo! Oh god, this is all going downhill. I don't want to buy a new microphone. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me if I'm, like, supposed to be talking, because me and some microphones dying. But yeah, the green exit was the name of the golem that you were using, Jeremiah, and it, like you could expect, it exploded. Who would have thought? Um, but Dahlia, you think it was because of the cool punch you did, not the fact that he was piloting, the kobold's mech. Alright, Kel and Morgan, you're at the learning towers. What are you trying to learn or catch up on? Okay, and what step are you on for that? Alright, go for it. Just ability check, yeah. Alright, there you go. Kel, what are you catching up on? Alright, and do you remember which step you're on? So you're on con. Alright, give me that con check, DC 11. There you go. So while everyone else is out having fun, Morgan and Kelly are both kind of nose down in the books, reviewing what you kind of messed up on last week, trying to catch up on the sessions from class. Mm-hmm. True friendship right there. Also, Hernan, I missed you, because I did not expect you to be an Angel's delicacies. Yeah. Oh, Nani? You walk in and you see Shisen, the other Dragonborn, kind of just eating on by her lonesome. And you see everyone else is kind of just eating things, some are eating things from the wall. There's a lot of desserts and like grown magically items. Uh, Let me double check, because I think this is the first time anyone has been here. So what did I give for the temp HP bonus? Where is that? Alright. You gain double your proficiency bonus to your temp HP for the next week. This applies even after your rests. So you're currently at 12? Correct? Is 12 your max? So it'd be 14 then. So then it'd be 2 more than that, but because you're not going to be in the academy grounds for your next excursion, that'll be 6, 8, plus 4, so you'll be 12 total then. It'd be 16. It'd be 16 normally, but you're not going to be in the town, which is why it's only going to be 12 for your next excursion. Okay. As you come on in, he's probably the one who called you here. Um, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you're kind of lounging, like you're looking around for him, and he's waving at you. He has a he has milk and a bunch of cookies and other like desserts and pastries ready to go. Hernan, over here, right here, no, over here. Mm-hmm. Literally, you can smell the sugar in the air. So you both sit down. The table, you realize, is made out of a big cookie. Don't eat too much, or else we'll have to sit somewhere else. But yeah. So are you ready to go over the spells and figure things out? Uh Roll me persuasion if you're like beckoning her over, because it's gonna be she does like that cat thing where she kind of looks the other way and just doesn't pretends to not have seen you. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I would like it if it looked like an owl or something. I mean, owls are classy. Can't go wrong with an owl. All right. As you two lounge and review over a good eaten table at this point, I imagine you're still taking a couple bites out of it. Let's go to Lily. Lily, you're playing flyball. You're just kind of. Are you playing or watching? Okay, so despite being sore because of your week long exercising event going on, you go to play flyball, and as you're playing, um, yeah, I think you probably wouldn't feel like the gains yet, but in a week or two you'll probably feel better about yourself, like in terms of like exercise wise. But gonna be doing like one-handed push-ups and stuff like that. All right, so you'll gain a bonus of 1d4 to your Constitution's checks. All right, so let's do our weekend rolls then. We'll start on the left, make our way to the right. So Hernan. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get shield. Do you know which check you're making? Okay, okay. There you go. And then you also need charisma for find familiar. Is that the step you're on? All right. There you go. You get both. So give me a second to add those to your sheets. All right, moving forward. All right, because moving to the side. Jeremiah. All right. Crack your knuckles and let's see what you got. So this would be for a shield or magic missile. See if you need guidance. You just need to get a 2 or higher on your d4. Okay, and that was for which spell? There you go. Full escape. Roll the d4 and then see if you want to guidance it. So that is a 9. Do you want to use your guidance on this? All right. Ooh. Sadly, full escape will remain false to you. Here we go. You could still get it. You could still get it, the d4. But sadly, one off. Oh. Listen. Um. You use your guidance. You used your buff for this week. You don't have anything from invocations. You don't have inspiration. I think that's it. Do you have lucky? Right. Okay, okay. Well, you still have another week's worth of rolls to go through. But moving on to Dahlia. Alright, what's your first roll? Okay. Alright, there you go. Shield has been gained. Okay. You do, yes. You were on Charisma for all 3 steps, damn. Alright, well, let me get, Pulse Cape. Alright, Asterius, what steps are you on? Alright, let's see those Charisma rolls then. Which one are you learning, Shield or Magic Missile? Alright. Mm-hmm. Alright, then False Cape. Okay, and then Find Familiar. Not so easy. Do you have a... Well, let's see, you could still probably get it. Well, you need to get Guidance. So let's... You want to use both? Yeah. Alright, so 2d4 then. Alright, that is good. So let me add those to your sheet. Easy peasy. Alright, Morgan and Kel. Alright, so we'll do Morgan first. That's... Which one are you learning, Shield or Magic Missile? Alright, there you go. Alright, and then you have one more for Find Familiar. There you go. Alright, 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 alright. Kel. What are your rolls looking like? Did Kel kill over? Oh yeah, there you go, yeah. It's all good, yeah, yeah. It's the same roll regardless, just what you want at the end, really. Alright, so are you on step 2 out of 3 for all these, or do you have some you have to roll con for? Damn, intelligence for you then. Alright, there, you want Magic Missile, right? Alright, continue, continue. Do you have... You have Inspiration. You have not used it yet. Alright, taking it away. Now roll another and roll another intelligence check. That's just good enough. And then you find Familiar. Alright, let me add all those to your sheet. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Lily. I can. Just tell me what I need to roll. Or you get it because you get a bonus 1d4, so you're at 11. Full scape, not so much. I may have rolled a natural 1. No. No, no. And what do you need? What do you need? New? New? Like a meow? What the? I'm becoming a cat, apparently. What do you need for, Find Familiar? Alright, you got that. So you're at you're on the final step for your shield spell, or a magic missile, and then you need, and you still need con for the full scape, and you need con for Find Familiar. I want you to know, Zen, I literally was like, oh, I'll give him magic missile, and then I gave you shield instead. Alright, and Briggs is not here yet, so he'll roll catch up next week. But you know who is here? All of you. Yes, you are all here. But you know who is here specifically? Asterius. Alright, Asterius. As you walk down the halls of the Academy late in the evening after returning from a study session with Ermi by your side, you feel as though something is wrong. Almost innately, you turn to look behind you, only to see a darkened hallway devoid of light. Ermi is gone, leaving you all alone in this passageway. What do you do? You're in the Academy, but the lights have turned off, essentially, and Ermi is nowhere to be seen. Alright, as you kind of make your way through the hallways, which start to look the same as each other, especially in the darkness, you start to hear steps approaching you, echoing eerily from the shadows. Yes. Alright, as your mind plays tricks on you, you're kind of like seeing shadows move in the darkness, like kind of like when you're looking in a mirror at night, that kind of a vibe is going on around you. But before you can make out whoever or whatever is nearing you, you blink. You're back in the hall where you started. Ermi is walking by your side as if nothing had happened at all. What do you mean, what? It's me, Ermi. I mean, I always hear footsteps. Got the keen ears, but no, it didn't go dark. Well, dear buddy of mine, I'm Ermi. You can roll Arcana if you want to see if you can sense more going on around you. No problem. Can I get on your back and ride you like a war mount? Oh. Alright, there's not much you can sense around you, except for the fact that, maybe for a brief moment, the aether nearby was a little bit lessened. Alright, you carry on, Wayward Son. There's still work to be done. He did not. All of you are. Just wait until you're not here, and then I'm gonna be the Bugs Bunny version of your character. It's gonna be hell. Oh god. Alright, week 4. I don't have any major event planned for this week, RP-wise, so if there's anything you guys want to do, let me know. The tournament can be done retroactively. Like, you can, like, if we have another session when everyone can't make it, you can just go say we're doing the tournament. So it's not like you have to rush to it now. And Briggs should be here. He just said he'd be a little bit late. Yeah, he wasn't planning on missing the session, at least. Not to my knowledge, not in the messages he sent me. But speaking of, I should probably send him a message. You guys roleplay amongst yourselves, you're in the academy. You know what, I'll put you here. You can talk amongst yourselves in this little tiny fire pit area. The study nook. That is true. This would be the time of the week where you have received your letters from home if you sent them out. So if you wish to have a little kind of tea time, gather up and talk about them, you can. He looked perfectly fine to me. Nothing really stood out. But I mean, with all the things going on with us, it's not unlikely. It would be investigation. Um, all right. Basically, like on a basic tier of things you found just going through the main library, which I do not have a map for because I did not know how to make it. Imagine the main library of the academy is just a bunch of these rotating like cubes, huge cubes that kind of rotate and go in different areas and rooms at different instances of time. You can hang out in the library investigating, but a lot of books are off limits to first years. It's kind of like you gain access to more books as you stay at the academy. It's kind of like the reward system for knowledge. But from the books you can get as a first year with a 15, you would have noticed that indeed there are many cases throughout history where people have awakened their ancient bloodlines. That is not unusual. Finer details would be some people awaken at when they're born, others awaken years down the line when they first get in contact with magic. So it's not unheard of, which would probably explain why the Academy is not so like gung ho about figuring out what happened. But for you specifically, Morgan, you would probably be a little bit more uneasy because of the fact of how you awakened your this bloodline or this ability, if it is one, um, because of the lack of ether. You don't know. Nothing speaks of a lack of ether. Like it's not really mentioned in any of these notes or journals. All right. Speaking of samples, I like to imagine that Kel is just sitting there nodding as he's putting on the skin lotion. Oh no, it's not to eat, Kel. Kel just drops over dead. Like, oh, all right. This week of school is pretty much the more relaxed one most of you have had. Despite learning first level spells for the first time, most of you have seemed to have at least some progress on your Find Familiar spells, or you even have mastered it already. But you're not yet conjured it. That's something you would have to do during your lesson. That's like the big deal. But um, yeah, it's a peaceful week, which is only broken up by the fact that on your Friday evening you get a message on your tablet. This month's excursion for first years is here. Please report to Aetheric Rail Station tomorrow morning. It's always been on the weekends, yeah. So I like to imagine this is happening like you were having this little letter meeting on a Friday, And as you're all kind of hanging out here, you get the same message on your phone. Sorry, I was about to say phones. On your sending tablets again. Uh, for the sake of game balance, no. Because you guys would be having 50 potions on you at all times, then I'm like, well, what's the point? With the bonus action healing. Oh, it's because you're going outside of the academy, you're not going to have your full temp HP. Hernan should be at, so, at 8, 6. Alright, everyone should be at 6 except for Asterius, who should be at 8, and Hernan, who's at 12, because he went to the good food store. Alright, but yeah, to answer your question, you still have the healing items you got, and you also have magical items that provide healing. AC, yeah. They never tell you ahead of time. That's kind of the gimmick of the school. They don't give you time to prepare. It's kind of like a spur of the moment. You gotta know, like, adapt as you go. It's like a kind of a stress test, essentially. I'm doubting. I need to see the stress. All right. Let me open up my document again. I was just getting things prepared on the side. All right. I guess then, with a sense of dread, given all you've endured during your previous adventures, I presume that you all spend the rest of the evening preparing your gear for the journey to come. Um, preparing your rations, your water, getting your magical like focuses ready. I guess Ermi would be ready and getting his Aetheric Rail ready for whatever you're gonna have to deal with this time around. You don't know. You're scared. You're about to go back, like you're walking back into hell, part 3. But anyhow, as you arrive at the station, you find yourselves boarding the same rail this time as the other groups. Sitting in a familiar booth, you make yourselves comfortable for the ride to come. A supervisor walks past, talking to all the groups as she goes. The trip today will be a bit of a long one, so spend the next few hours as you deem fit. It seems like you have a bit of free time to fill. To answer your question for Ermi, he can literally just ride on Kel's shoulders until combat starts. But yeah, as you see, there's all the other groups here kind of talking amongst themselves as they get ready for the excursion. No one seems to know, from what you can hear over like the train, so the rail movement, no sounds and stuff as it goes. No one seems to know exactly what's going to happen, but they're kind of theory crafting. You would have to go investigate the groups essentially to hear their point of views. Correct. That you'll be casting that next, like as part of your exam, essentially. Is to give the people who get it time to prepare their familiar. All right. Gene is the one who responds. He's kind of leaning back or reading a book. And he'll shrug and say, no, they don't really give us too much detail. Mist, you'll turn to the tabaxi next to him, who's kind of looking out the window as you have left the capital and are going out into like the wastelands, essentially the frozen tundra. Well, if they're giving us several hours of travel in this direction, all I can think about are some settlements out there where they've been abandoned. Maybe we're doing some cleanup. I don't know for sure. She takes a moment to look at like this where the sun is at the moment. Uh, Southwest, I guess, would be the direction. Yeah, sure, go for it. Survival, I guess would be the role for that. It's a circle. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. They're just putting you in a circle. You're like 90% sure. Uh, all right, Asterius. You're at Group B. Who are you talking to here? All right, Jess gives you a little tiny like doo like a little like wave at you as you kind of walk by. Hmm. Well, based on the fact that we had a group assignment where we were kind of against each other, and then a solo one, maybe they're doing another group thing. In which case, good luck. She says it how she said it, like she was like looking at you and said, "Good luck." You could ask her, but you do recall I think Group B came in first last time. You see, Laura Fien is just kind of looking out the window the whole time, like face glued to the window. Just ooh. All right, let me look around the tram. All right, Morgan, you're moving on to Group E. Group F. Yeah, I'll walk in for this group for sure. It's fine. You guys did that like actually during your real time, so it's fine. Uh, uh, doing okay? And then you'll see Realms kind of look up at you, and he'll say, "Well, we tried to do our best with the strat, but you guys just persevered through it. It was a good fight." Honestly, I wasn't expecting to have a sword of all things. I thought he was just casting spells. He kind of put a crease in the plan. Yeah. Oh well, who knows? We will fight again. Depends of how the loser bracket goes. Yeah, it's something we Drow can do. I couldn't do it as well, um, but I was able to do it for a small period of time. She'll nod and then kind of like just kind of sit there. You'll see Rush kind of sitting there as you looking at you and say, if our group goes against each other again, I'll go onto the field next time." Uh, you, she's similar to Jeremiah. She seems to be Air Genasi. Well, I guess we can rule out forests. I don't think they would put us in another forest. So I guess what else is out here? Mines, caves, maybe some frozen tundra like lake or something. Who knows? Yeah, it's always cold. Scratches the record real quick. Sorry to interrupt you. I forgot to give you guys your final rolls for the spells before the week ended. Because it happens during the week, not the weekend, technically. So you do have your final rolls to see if you locked in the spells or not. Yeah, pretty sure, yeah. If you even knew. So, no, it's okay, okay. I thought I usually did, but if not, if it's, I thought it was always been a 1 week roll, is how I thought I had it set up. But if not, we'll continue. Go. No, 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 it's okay. It's okay. No, no, it's fine. We'll do it after the excursion. But anyhow, as you guys are kind of relaxing, yeah, you can play little tiny games to occupy your time here. I reviewed my notes. Hey guys, I'm back. Kicks down the door. I've reviewed my notes. It's one check per. It's a check per spell per week, and therefore, this is the week, so you can make your check if you want. Yes. So who hasn't done it yet, or who still needs to make their checks? All right. Anyone else? Jeremiah. I think you just yeah. No. It's only for the one. These are for specifically the ones you're learning through the week, not like ones you've missed out on. Okay then. Let's go with Lily first. The wisdom one, not so much. Uh, False cape, yes. But find familiar, no. So you don't. This is the one you don't get the weekend event for because the weekend's taken up. Um, Guidance wouldn't get you it. So yeah, you're 2 out of 3 for everything now. Well, everything but find familiar. It is hard. So you need wisdom for shield, magic missile, and false cape, but you still need con for find familiar. And Jeremiah, do you need a roll? All right, you could guidance that. Okay, and that was false cape. Okay, find familiar. Correct, because this is the weekend you don't get a weekend event essentially. Indeed, guidance is once per creature. It doesn't matter where you get it from. All right, well you got full scape. Yeah, you just won't have it for this summoning class, but you'll have it probably the week after. Anyone else? Hermes will be done when he gets here. Let me go back. Return. Claps hands. Return to your role play antics. I'm gonna go check on Briggs. Shot for the moon! As you all are having this bone game of blackjack, essentially, Hernan and Asterius, were you both hanging out in Group B for a specific reason, or just not wanting to be seen amongst your group? Okay. It's like Squid Game Season 2. Yeah, yeah. It's very good. Like, professionally good, Morgan. You've definitely played this a lot. Alright, as you're enticed Hernan into the bone game, um, you kind of played this game among other games over several hours as you cross the wilderness. Morgan, you can roll a contesting sleight of hand checks to see who wins. I can't win, but I can make sure you lose. All right, Morgan, roll me sleight of hand. All right, you managed to beat Hernan. You kicked him out of the train. You kicked him off of Kell's shoulders out the window. He's falling down the hill. All right. They're all like kind of in their own groups, lounging, preparing for the excursion. Kind of like what you guys are doing for your own group. They're hanging out with each other. But anyhow, the Aetheric Rail pulls in to a rundown station, at least when compared to the ones you've grown used to in the capital. Abandoned buildings line the horizon. Some are overgrown with ice and snow. Some have been cleaned up, most likely for use by the Academy, but the majority of the town lies in ruins. As you disembark the rail carriage, you're immediately greeted with the chill-filled winds expected this far away from the capital. Without the heating pillars constantly providing warmth to the area, you somehow feel even colder than during your time in the forest. Verdun takes over as your group lingers onto the station, motioning for all the groups to follow him. Welcome, one and all, to the once thriving mining town of Rotele. While once a bustling mining settlement, the discovery of something within these tunnels has led for it to become abandoned, at least publicly. While we walk, humor me. What do you kids know about conduits? Similar. Also similar, but not quite. You see, conduits are similar to the arcane foci you've been using to help cast your spells thus far. However, a main difference is that each of them is tied to a specific elemental plane. These crystals are rare, to the point that for most mages it's unrealistic to expect to ever have one. For not only are they difficult to source, you have to resonate with the conduit to truly use it. Alright, as you all end your walk up a long snow-covered hill. Yes. As you all end your walk up a long snow-covered hill, you find yourselves nearing what appears to have once been the main mining site of Rotele. Dozens of mining rails run across the surface, each leading to their own tunnels. The place seems to have been built into what appears to have been once some elven ruin, or some elven structure, you're unsure, as only their foundations linger upon and around the cliff face. So let me move you to the map. Okay, as you all are kind of gathering here, he's talking, leading you here essentially. As Academy students, you've been granted the privilege of entering these mines for one of these conduits. However, that is where your rights end. It is up to you to find where they are, and then finding one that you can bond with. Your grades for this excursion will be based on those conditions. Verdon will look at your group a little bit, personally, before we continue on to everyone. He'll say, "Now then, meet up with your group supervisor to go over the finer details. You'll all be entering through different tunnels at the same time, so let's start in, let's say, 10 minutes. You can roll history. Let's see. I'll answer that, Hernan, once you've got grouped up with Verdon. Alright, so when you guys are ready, move towards Verdon, but to answer your question, not more than what he said, Asterius. Like, that's pretty much what you would know, but for Jeremiah, your family actually had a great hand more so in finding these mines. At least from what you recall your parents talking about way back when you were a kid. Sorry, back when you were like a toddler, because you're still a kid. As for, what they do, you're not sure, but you do know that it was a very big moment for your family when they first discovered that these mines had these crystals, these conduits here. Given how secure and secret these are, you're not sure. If they did have undead mining them, it would be counterproductive, because they seem to want to use this as a sort of coming of age rite for you guys. As for if this had been undead had been mining here previously, I mean, probably. But it's been quite some time since these were actually active mines, from what you can tell, from how decrepit the mine carts are and how frozen over most of the items are here for crates and stuff. It was over like 100 years, right? It wasn't 200, I don't think. Which, okay, okay. Right. No, no, I think 200 is fine. I was trying to recall off the top of my head. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I don't think you ever visited here, but you definitely heard about your family doing something. Yeah, exactly. Says Morgan as she's staring at, like, as a kid saying this to another kid. Children yearn for the mines. Stares at Morgan from above, like, girl, you're 13. What do you mean? True. Alright, kids, listen up. As Vernon gives you all a curt nod. Listen, I know you've had some strange experiences, but we searched the mines thoroughly, nothing is strange in there. Just go in there, grab a conduit, and return. Quick and easy, right? You're not gonna have any strange, like, out of body experiences or anything, right? Right, I'll do my usual surveying work. I will cast scrying at some occasions, but for the most part, just be smart and be safe in there. He just blinks at you. Alright, when you're ready, just enter the tunnel behind me. This is your tunnel. Secret tunnel. I was gonna about to ask, yeah, geez, it's gonna be dark. So does anyone who wants to have their light spell going ahead of time? Okay, that just means that it will be in your hand, essentially. So one hand will be holding it. Okay, okay. Kind of is. You need to have a free hand for the casting and also the hand motions. So one hand has to grab your arcane focus and the other one has to cast the spell, essentially. Alright. So Lily has her light spell going. Morgan's carrying a torch. Is anyone else getting a light going? Okay, okay. Let me set that up then. Get that light away from me, or so help me. But no, Ermi rejects your light. I refuse. Mm-hmm. So Morgan, one of your hands is holding the torch, and the other hand is holding Lily's hand. Alright, 1 second. You enter the tunnel, your steps ringing out slightly as you walk along the metal pieces of the mine rails. A wave of warmth flows past you as you leap behind the frost-covered hill and enter the moist and flourishing caves. Water flows freely around you, with the walls grown over by a mixture of moss and vines. After a short walk, you find yourselves at the end of the rail system. The tunnel, however, continues on into the dim darkness beyond. You walk for a good while. The exact time difficult to determine, but your best guess be around half an hour. The deeper you went, the stranger the environment got. You're not certain exactly when, but eventually the mundane stone walls and floors have been replaced with the occasional crystal growth. These shards reflect the light of your torches and your light spell, creating a gorgeous reflective sparkle that makes the walls of the cavern come to life. You've come to a fork in the road, to say, as two winding paths lead further into the mines ahead of you. One goes into the left, while the other goes to the right. You cannot eat food of them. You may roll perception. So based on smell, you just smell the lingering moisture in the air. It's definitely more humid than you would have expected in a cave system. For sight, while your sight is not limited, it is definitely kind of obscured a bit by the mist. AK, there's no like limit to how far you can see, but it's definitely like lingering mist in the air, not like fog, but like water vapor. The ceiling is around 10, maybe 15 feet high around here, but that's all you can really see. hmm for the you can roll nature. Based on what you've heard, these are probably related to the conduits that you're here to find, but none of them seem big enough to like give you anything out of them. They're kind of like very frail looking. So you want to see if any of the conduits are calling to you. Um, sure. Yeah, sure. Roll Americana. None that you could feel right away. Nothing is calling. Like maybe the stone's too thick, but as you're kind of meditating, nothing calls to you immediately. All right, 1 moment. As you follow the Yeah, Kel just falls down a hole and dies. No. So, as you follow the winding path to the caverns to the west, you find yourselves coming to yet another fork in the path. To the west, a bit further, Kel, is what appears to be some sort of cave in. Meanwhile, to the north, you can see the path continue on. Those are crystals. You can roll investigation if you so wish. Alright, I'll hit the clip up arrow. 15. Alright. The rubble seems to have been recent, as moss and vines have not yet grown over it, but the exact period of time since the rocks have fallen is uncertain. Asterius, as you're kind of looking around, you also notice that there's a small hole in the rubble. It would be a tight fit, and it seems to only go a few feet before exiting out into whatever cavern exists beyond the rubble. She's just like a teddy bear, like, here you go. Well, this is definitely probably something made for me, Ermi, but as I'm not here, someone else could probably take the time to fit through if they're small enough as well. You let me know. You could become a spider if you wish. Alright, 1 second. Now you're becoming a tiny spider, right? I could just give you the slot. Alright, Dale, you have become a very, very tiny spider. Um, and because druids in 2024 can talk while shaped, and this is related to druid, you can still talk as a very, yeah, they can talk while shaped now. It's like, it's a glow. You're not gonna see cracking bones and stuff. It's definitely a spell. It's just a big. No, no, no. It's a little big bright light, and then you just see a little tiny spider on the ground. All right, you crawl on through. I open the door. You should be able to see where you need to go. All right, well, as you kind of skitter your way through the hole, you find yourself exiting out in a dead end of sorts, in more ways than one. A skeleton leans up against the rocky pillar in the center of the room, his hand resting upon a journal. A travel pack sits to his left, dusty but otherwise secure. He also knows that there is a ritualistic circle in front of him, with burnt out candles sitting in their direct center. You want to go back? All right, go back. You see a tiny little dahlia spider come crawling on out, literally the hand, like size of maybe Asterius' hand. Literally a tiny spider. Ermi has he's phased out of reality. If someone wants to squeeze on through, they can. It's just easier for Ermi, but one of you. All right. I'm just saying, not all of you can fit, obviously, but if one person wants to go and get stuff, you can. It looks like Kel, who's like a foot taller than everyone. I think Morgan would be a fair size to fit. Asterius, you could probably force it. Just time. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Leave her behind. Sure. This ritual circle must have been a last resort, as it seems similar to the circles one would draw to summon forth a devil from the hells to form a contract with. Even then, it seems that despite the expensive ink used here, that the skeleton did not manage to escape by contacting them. It does not seem if it worked, he did not form a contract with it. Um, I mean, devils can't really maintain themselves without a bound contract, so you're not sure, but at least he didn't do it. All right, are you just taking it, or are you looking at them first? All right, so you lift up his claw, essentially his skeleton hand, that has kind of like dust and cobwebs on it as you take his journal, and then you kind of you grab his pack, and you kind of skedaddle out of the room, skedaddle. Sure, that would be medicine or nature. It old. No, that seems to be it. After a couple of minutes, you hear Morgan kind of like forcing her shoulders through the hole and coming on out, and then you just see the little tiny spider easily go. Doo, 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 doo. Well, you can never tell if something's cursed. It looks like something that someone would write in. It seems to be very cheaply made. It's already starting to kind of like fray at the edges and kind of decay. All right. Do you start to read it, or you just kind of open it? All right. As you kind of thumb through the document of the journal, you quickly start to learn the following information about your dear skeleton friend. He was a scout named Moth, who discovered these caverns without permission from the Academy. Thinking to make some money to feed Iris and Eno, his younger sister and brother, back in the capital, after they failed out of their academies, he took the risk of mapping out the caverns to sell to some group back in the capital. However, the sudden cave-in here seems to have put a stop to all those plans. Unable to escape, even after digging out a small hole, he used the expensive ink he had, mixing it with his own blood to draw a summoning circle. However, whether or not he succeeded is unknown, as the journal's last entry reads as follows. The circle is done. I do not know what I will contact, nor if I will survive the calling. Iris, Eno, if you somehow manage to read this, I'm sorry. I know I haven't been around much since Ma and Pa passed, but I want you both to know I only wanted the best life for the two of you. I just hope the coin that I left you to will make do until you can find a better path. I'll give you all the names. Pretty much coming here from where you went, essentially. He's mapped like the whole those caverns. Nothing more than where you are now. Alright, Asterius, are you ready? You find empty ration packs. Empty water skin. Empty ink vial. Paper. A quill. And scrolls for mapping. That's it. Alright. What do you want to do now? As you kind of divvy up the loot from this dead scout. Alright, alright. You can. Morgan. As you return to the group and kind of, everyone's starting to leave, you hear your name spoken behind you. When you turn, you see only the faint mist that you've gotten used to from the caverns in the rock slide. And then as you turn to go back to the group, you realize that you heard your name, but it wasn't spoken in common or any other language you know. You can. The ether here is less dense than normal for a moment in time. I know you like talking to the dead, but I think it's gone. Correct. Well, not necessarily telepathically, just not a language you knew. But you could tell it was meant to be your name. In that language. You can roll perception. You don't see anything that stands out. Do you want to? Sure. The more you know. Alright, you continue north. Uh, I mean, yeah, technically you could run an army because you're tiny and he's small, and therefore you can run in his shoulders. Another fork in the road. And maybe the several light sources and also the fact there's a cloud of mist there. It's just a glowing crystal. You've seen them before. They're just ones that emit enough light to be like they provide light around them. So 1 second. To your north is definitely water. It's deep water that you would have to swim through. And to your west is a. Let me describe it real quick. Um, Asterius and Lily, you would definitely notice these as elven statues. As an elven statue stands here, holding in its arms a slightly cracked basin made out of stone. A circle of petals surround it, each seemingly just as fresh as if they had fallen from a tree. You can roll nature to see if you can like figure out what type of plant they're from or what tree they're from. But as for why they're here, that would be history. So it's nature to see if you know what type of plant they are. History to know if you know why they're here. Sure, where's it at? History, 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 history. 19. So Kel, um, and you and Lily know what this is, but to explain from different perspectives, you probably know about the statues of Elven make because there are still ruins of Elven like cities and stuff out in the Wandering Tribes region of the globe of Ilara. And your people probably have settled in like inside of them during big storms or when moving from place to place. Um, this is definitely some sort of ritual going on related to elements. Lily, you would know about these most likely because your family is related to Maris, and these petals are definitely related to an old elven ritual of honoring the elements. It is definitely a bowl. You could probably put something in it or on top of it. You're not sure exactly what would be needed. All right, so who's are you filling with water, and if so, who's doing it? All right, Asterius, as you kind of fill up the water into your water skin, you notice that this water is very clear. It goes down deep. It's definitely like 20 feet down to the ground until you stop being able to kind of see anything. But it's very clear water as you kind of fill it up. Um, you bring it over to the basin and you pour it in, and it kind of lingers there for a bit before it slowly starts to drip out through the cracks. If you know mending, perhaps, but not through prestidigitation. You don't see it, nothing happens. You just pee poured in the water and it kind of lingered for a bit and then it fell through. Are you a half-elf? I keep forgetting, you're human. You may pray if you so wish. And if so, who are you praying to, and what are you saying? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Alright. Nothing bad seems to happen, but nothing seems to happen at all, really, from your prayer. You got a nat 1 in your nature check. The best that Kel would know is that these are, like, it's related to when the elves ruled around these regions, which was hundreds of years ago. You got a 13. He would at best know what you know, but yeah. All you know so far is that you put plain water in there and it dripped out. You shock and grasp it. All right, nothing bad happens to you, but nothing helps happens otherwise. Have you been touching the water, Hernan? It's not that cold. And remember, it's moist and warm down here. The best it could be, it's not hot spring temperature, but it's like lukewarm bath water like temperature. Yes, way warm, way warmer. Let me double check. Just make sure it works on slippery surfaces, and I think it does. There you go. That's what you see. All right, Hernan, you dip into the warm water and then pull yourself up on the edge on the other side, and you can see a large cobweb. Yeah, it's not like they eat thousands of them at birth or anything. But to describe what you see, thick cobwebs line the ceiling, walls, and even the floor of the cavern in front of you. Kel, you swim over just to stop her nodding. You kind of look back at the water like, gotta go back to swimming. It's probably like a nice bath, really. It's clean water. Like I said, it's like super clear. You can see the bottom. All right, Kel and Morgan. As you enter this cavern, those of you with keen eyes notice several dozen bats sleeping above you. It seems that they have not yet detected your presence here. Morgan, you're the only one who sees it because your passive perception is 16. All right. I'm gonna. I'll just for the sake of it, you put out your torches because I presume you're gonna turn them back on once you're through. But all right, all right. You've come across yet more water. It's definitely deep. You sound like something you could like wade through. This is something you would have to actually swim through, like the other water. Um, you could jump that. There's a slight current going downwards, so like southern wise. But yeah, you could jump that, Kel, if you wanted. It's just a 10-foot jump, and you have enough strength. All right, you jump over. Um, to anyone else, if your strength is like 15 or higher, you can make the jump easily. If not, you would have to swim or try to roll. It would be athletics. Morgan, you fall into the water. And give me a second. As you make a splash, it's good for now. They're sleeping, so they have disadvantage at -5. So you could just get in the water, or you could try leaping over. It's up to you guys. All right. All right. Mm-hmm. One second. As you round the corner, you find yourself standing before a lovely small pond, full of clear and clean water. It pools around the ruins of some elven structure, with only the supporting pillars left from neglect and the effects of time. Faint runes can be barely seen upon some of them, although the erosion due to the nearby water makes it difficult to read. Alright, Kel, that is a rock, a cave-in, yes. Morgan, to the far distance to the left, you can see cobwebs. No, this one seems to keep going down a long tunnel of just full of debris and rocks. Probably to other parts of the mine. Yeah, if it's 10 feet, you can jump easily. Yes. You see Kel do these amazing jumps, you're like, oh, me too, and you just face plant into the water. Again, elven structures with some written runes on them, that are slightly eroded due to time. You can, because you know Elven, you can roll investigation to see if you can read them. 15 exactly is what you needed. From the little you can make out, you think that these runes read as the following in Elven, Old Elven: Path of the Elements. As an elf, you can now roll history. There you go. The path of the elements must relate to the Imperium, the once grand elven empire that stretched far and wide across Ilara until roughly 700 years ago. You're not certain, but you do know that the elves brought with them elemental magic, specifically related to the planes of the elements and summoning magic. It is, because there's so many light sources in the fogs right there. Let me turn down the fog a little bit. Exactly the same. I'll let you roll history again, yeah, now that you have connected those dots. Do you wish to use guidance on that? Okay, you may. Alright, with an 18. These rituals typically require something of worth, be it to the person doing the ritual or of something materially like worth, of a material worth, more so. It would also explain why putting just water or lightning did not do anything, because they had no value to them. Alright, guys, I'll do it. He lays down on it, his arms are wide. I'm just stabbing right here, get it over with. Alright, nice knowing you all. No, but, so, Lily, did you want to put gold? Is that what you're saying, or? You tell me, because you have 1,200 gold to your name. For Lily or for any other normal child? Couple hundred. Alright, you put 100 gold pieces onto the basin. Does not seem to be enough. Do you put 100 more? Does not seem to be enough. Do you put yet another 100? After putting 300 gold pieces onto the basin, it starts to glow. The gold the gold coins you placed on the basin melt as they transform into a solid gold bar, leaving behind the lesser metals that were used in it. The gold bar is then absorbed into the statue. It is now gone. Detect Magic would let you do that for sure. You could try Roaring Arcana, but it won't be as clear. Yes, it's emitting some sort of green emerald light from within the cracks that are kind of like flowing out in all directions. Correct. Hernan of 21, you can presume from your studies, it transmutated the gold. You don't know where it went after that, but, you know, it did some sort of stuff. It's likely. Asterius, as you enter this cavern, you notice yet again the thick cobwebs in the floor, ceiling, and walls. You also notice in the far corner, underneath one of these cobwebs, is a worn wooden chest. You may roll perception. Asterius, with your dark vision, 60 feet above you, hiding in the cobwebs in these corners and nooks of the room, there are definitely a good half dozen, if not more, large spiders just kind of lounging about idly. They are aware that you are here, but you have not yet triggered any of their webs, so you are not yet prey. That's what you see. There's always a chance. You'd probably be a very sleight of hand related ability to not to open the chest without disturbing the cobwebs. You have a little tiny spider Dahlia just on one of your shoulders looking around. I would have a mage hand if the DM would give it to me already. If you guys want me to, I can try sneaking over there and trying opening it. I just need to know if I mess up and I turn around, you'll all be here still. Whenever I'm in doubt about what I'll do, I just look at the sky and pray to Briggs, the loot goblin. And he tells me to go on in. DM, I want to roll stealth. Oh, of course, Irma, you can definitely roll stealth. Do they see me, DM? No, they, you don't know yet. Oh. I'm gonna keep going. DM, I want to try to remove the webs without getting anyone, alerted? Of course, Bergs. Of course, Bergs. Yeah, sleight of hand. Yes. Alright, DM, I'm gonna see if there's any traps. Oh, there is a trap. Alright. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna disarm the trap, DM. Alright, I'm gonna open the trap, DM. I'm opening the chest, I mean. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's neat as well. Yes. Oh. I'm not gonna tell the players, the other teammates, I got this though. I'm gonna put it in my pockets. And then I'm gonna. No, you can't. And then I'm gonna. And I'm gonna put the cobweb around it. Go 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 go. What do you mean? Briggs, the Briggs, my mighty lord, would do exactly what I did. Wherever you guys want to go, but do you want to know what I found? I found one of these and one of these. He flexes, but then he shows off. There's a set of chainmail, or like a chain shirt, sorry, which seems to be made of by elven hands, and there is a cloak, a cloak of crimson, with golden like embroidery upon it. Don't know what they do. You say that, you turn around, Ermi's wearing both of them. They've been gone for centuries. You know, it's about time we took back what they took from us. Listen. When was the last time any of you have been to the Imperium, huh? Never. All right, that's all I'm saying. Sorry, the loot, the loot goblin comes out sometimes, and it kind of I see sparkly, and I want to keep it. Yes. So, chain shirt of elven make, and then a crimson cloak would be the two descriptions of them. No, I can't. You have not. The water is nice and clear. Oh, one sec. To answer your question, Kel, as you're kind of walking, maybe you're talking to someone else with your head turned, you walk into a boulder that was not there before. You're like, yeah, you're not even looking. You're like, okay, Jeremiah, whatever you say. I'm mysterious. Are you like you're swimming in a big pool of water, by the way, as you're going over there. Um, but as you're swimming in the water, you notice that the current continues to flow westward down that passage. However, it goes a little bit underwater. Now you know why I said you can't just fast travel. It's super clear. Like it's like probably like you're wearing goggles at like at the pool. You can literally just see everything. Like it's as long as you have light, or in your case, you're fine even without light. It looks clear. It looks clean. All right, Stairs, you wanna go for a swim? I mean, a rope can only go for so long, so it's up to you. It's above average, yes. To answer your question, you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to one plus your Constitution modifier if you're prepared. Yes. Are you gonna go for a swim? All right. As you hold your breath, you do your best to follow the current. Your academy uniform, sadly, does not appear to have been designed with swimming in mind. As you kick your legs and do your best to glide through the water, you still have your shoes on. It's kind of hard. Um, but after a minute, you get to hear. Um, you notice a passageway that continues on deeper into the caverns. You're not certain, however, how long you will go without air. Exactly. Oh, you don't know how long you'll be underwater for. So it's been a minute already. So you can go back and inform them and decide what to do then, or you can keep going. It's up to you. Uh, does message require sight? I think he. Let me look it up real quick. The 2024 version, at least. Uh, you point towards a creature within range and whisper a message. I mean, pointing usually means you gotta see the person to point at them. Hmm. This is definitely more than 1 foot of stone all around as he's going up, so I feel like around 60, 70 feet. Yeah, and then you around 70 feet is when it kind of cuts off. Mm-hmm. With urgent to be able to hold their breath. Mm-hmm. You have unending breath. I was waiting for you to remember. You can get Jeremiah. You can hold your breath as long as you can, unless you're not like as until you get incapacitated. Right. Yeah, go as far as you can. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Okay, good. OBS was acting up. I don't know when OBS lost microphone. So, oops. Wait, when was the last time you could hear me? Okay, well, we'll find out in the VOD how long that's been off. Jesus Christ. Uh, anyhow, right. Yeah, you can have something like small like that. Like could be on like a sword and a piece of armor, clothing. It'd be literally on anything. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Are you going under? So for anyone else, I would make them roll Constitution, but you don't need to breathe. So, after a minute or two more, just when you feel like maybe someone else, like Asterius, would be starting to have some trouble, you find yourself You find yourself entering a small pocket of air. Small waterfalls flow down around you from high above, adding their water to the current that seems to continue on even more to the west. Right. Nothing seems to stand out here, at least. And it seems to have been it's a relatively straightforward path to coming this way. It was just a very long tunnel. Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right, you going back under? All right. After yet another swim for several minutes, you find yourself entering yet another small cavern. Between swims, probably like 8 minutes total. But as you come kind of into this water on this small cavern, the water pools here before going deep into the caverns beyond your sight below you. However, in this small pocket of air, you see a grand statue towering above you, or at least what remains of it. It is an elven statue of exactly the same make as the other two you've seen. Additionally, to the immediate right of it, you spot something twinkling in the dim light of your torch, or of your lights, the light thing as you hold it up. A pile of crystals and gems, gathered together in some sort of nest. You could roll nature. Yeah. DC was 15. This nest belongs to, most likely, a glitter otter. It's a subspecies of otter that loves to collect anything that sparkles. While not hostile nor dangerous, these critters love to make their nests in the most remote and safe regions of where they live. All right, you you approach the nest, which has most likely over 5,000 gold worth of gems in it. It also has a short sword. All right. Mm-hmm. As you're kind of divvying up the gems around and looking at them, there seems to be around 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds, 1,000 of rubies, 2,000 of emeralds, and another 1,000 of sapphires. They're small. They're just very high quality. You could probably fill up your pack with them all and swim back. All right. As you loot the nest, you can feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up. For as you look around, you spot a small, otter like creature watching you from the water. A single tear rolls down its face as it turns around dramatically, going down under the water as it runs away. But you have 5,000 dollars, 5,000 gold pieces worth of gems, and a short sword. What do you want to leave behind on the altar, the basin? All right, any particular gem or emeralds? Okay, it lights up. As the emeralds are melted down into one big emerald, and then absorbed into the statue. The tunnel goes very deep into the ground, like hundreds of feet down straight, but exactly. Exactly. Alright. Asterius, Lily, Morgan, everyone else really. It's been around 20, 25 minutes. Yeah. Jeremiah, you pop your head out of the water. It was definitely hard to swim back because you were laden down by literally, like probably a couple dozen pounds of loot. But you returned. Identify would do that. During the 20 minutes, when you look back, you notice that the wall has yet again moved. Alright, let me fast travel Lily and Ermi there. Jeremiah, as you're walking through the tunnels, maybe lounging out back behind everyone because you're carrying all that gems in your bag, just a little bit heavier than normal, you hear something whispering right into your ear, like immediately next to you, in a language you do not know nor recall. As you turn, I imagine to look. Oh, there, yeah, yeah. Hmm. I'm fighting a losing war against this microphone. I'm going crazy. But yes, you putting in 300 gold worth of emerald. All right, one moment. As you are activating the statue, you notice that on the wall surrounding it, two glowing lights from these little indentations. The light is coming from what appears to be two emeralds that are now lit up. And as you activate the third statue, this third emerald in the wall also lights up. You feel the cavern start to react to your presence and to what you have done. An eye appears upon the stone, constructed out of gravel and emeralds. It blinks, looking at you all, before uttering the rumbling of stone as it parts. Do any of you speak Terran or Primordial? Alright. You understand that the rumbling was actually words spoken in Primordial. And it was saying, "The friends of the elves and elements are welcome." Alright, as the walls part, you can see a gorgeous chamber beyond, supported by ruined elven pillars and arches that lead up to 30 or so feet above. A once elegant walkway leads further into the room, stopping before an altar. Sitting on top of it appears to be some sort of hardwood chest, with a green symbol growing upon it. This is ground. Just so you know, this is ground. That's just like a walkway that's like ruined. It's not like it's floating. All right, you hopscotch over. All right. You can roll whatever check you want to try making. Investigation, nature. It is a wooden chest made out of vines. All right, yeah. Other than that, you notice that it's made out of vines, and as you're kind of near it, the glowing symbol seems to react. The chest starts to part as piece by piece the pieces of vines forming it disconnect, revealing an amulet within that's constructed around, pretty much imagine fine wood, polished, surrounding a gorgeous emerald. And is a necklace. If you want to know if it's magical or not, you can identify. Do you know detect magic? Because that's something you wanted to know, but I don't think you got it unless it was from the book. Then, well, on your thing, yes, but the actual magical item, did I actually ever give that to you? Give me a second. Okay, the book has detect magic. Um, yeah, you can cast it. Yeah, yeah. As it will take 10 minutes though. And to answer your question, Lily, you're not sure how the time is. You just know you're supposed to get in it. You're being graded on if you can find it and get like one of them. And you're probably presuming that you'd be graded on time as well. But I mean, last time you guys took like a short rest or two and you were fine. Nope. Kel, they're over here. Yeah. Definitely not anything like God related. You can during downtime. You can like during a short rest. You can play that. They give two people inspiration. So if you're taking a short rest, you can. Yes. All right. Um, Dahlia, you can have as many as these eyes as you want, but I think you become the spider. It's not like you're like keeping your features. You're becoming the spider. So I think you would only have 8 in spider form, which is still 5 more than you would normally would have. All right, Morgan. The whole chamber is magic. No school. You would if it was like a magical like spell. You can roll history or arcana if you want to figure out what that would mean. You're inside an elemental. Specifically, only in this chamber is the elemental. But to answer your question as well, Jeremiah, the first item you identify is a necklace, and it's a necklace of the 4 elements. The finer details are still being balanced, but at the start of the day, you can choose one of the 4 elements and gain benefits related to them. It's not attunement, but only has 1 charge per day. All of them. All right, the cloak. The cloak is the cloak of the summoner's command. While worn, you can command your conjured creatures with your action to make an attack with their reaction. So if you have a conjured creature, you can command it to attack, and it uses their reaction to do that attack. 1 second. The chain shirt is Elven Chain. It's you gain is a magical armor. You are considered proficient with it while you're wearing it, and the AC is 14 plus your dexterity. And the short sword is the Elven Blade of Summoning Might. This +1 short sword can strengthen the creature someone summons once a day. When activated as an action, the conjured creature, such as from the Find Familiar spell, gains the following benefits. It gains 20 hit points. It can take the attack action on its turn, dealing 1d6 bonus damage, in addition to what it does already. Its size increases by 1, and its AC gains an amount. Its AC increases by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Once activated, this item must take a day to regain its charge, and these effects last until a day has passed or this item is activated again. They're not attunement. It would make your Find Familiar combat ready, yes. What I'm doing for your familiars otherwise is because there would be 8 of them. they're gonna be like stat sticks because they're freshly like summoned familiars that are for like flavor. Because I don't want to have to micromanage 8 familiars in combat. So this would be for someone who wants to have their familiar active and in combat, build wise. He would, but it would be way less damage. It'd be 1d6 versus a d10. Yeah, we're nearing the end of the session anyway, so I was about to wrap up anyhow, because... Would what? Any conjured creature, yes. But Morgan can't summon... That's a 3rd level spell. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can decide who gets it. Especially once I finish writing up the fine details of the necklace. You guys may want to change who gets what based on who wants that as well. But so, were you taking this rest in this chamber, inside the element, or were you outside? Yes, because you have the musician feat. Alright, Asterius and Jeremiah, make sure you toggle that you have inspiration. And as you all loot the chamber and leave, the elemental closes its doors. Sleep. You have not. The rocks that were blocking the north there are now gone. But we shall explore that next time. And as you're taking your nice short rest, Lily, as you're playing your song of rest, or from the musician feat mostly, you start playing that song from before. The one that you didn't know how to play. It was a very good song. You don't know how it ends. But as you get to the part you don't know how to finish, um, Kel, you kind of pick up where Lily ends up. Like you could if you wanted, sing the rest of the song. As there's like this lingering silence between her lyre kind of stopping, and then you knowing what comes next, even though you'd never heard the song before. Yes. Because you all know the song, but you don't know the song. It's just you're like, oh, it's like that catchy tune that you should have known, but you never heard before. And then Kel knows what happens next, and like there's only 30 more seconds of the song, Kel, but then you kind of wrap up, and you don't know where the lyrics, where the tune came from, and you couldn't recreate it if you wanted to. It's kind of gone now. As you finish your short rest, Dahlia has returned back to Dahlia form. The microphone did its thing again. Alright, that's a good time to end. Anyhow. So let me end this session and I'll be right back. Alright, thanks for watching the very scuffed episode of 13 of Immiscible Atonality. My microphone has gone to war with me, and I may have to get a new one before next session. Until then, take it easy, relax, and who knows what the party will discover further into the caverns. Until next time, take it easy.